On Wednesday, October 18th, about 30 residents from Sunderland gathered at the local elementary school to hear a presentation about how a proposed merger of area school districts would affect Sunderland. The town is one of 9 which are involved in the merger discussions being driven by Act 46, the state education consolidation statute passed last year, which encourages school districts to merge with compatible neighbors and receive property tax rate reductions in return. That's the carrot. The stick is that if a district doesn't come up with a merger plan on its own by 2018 or 2019, the State Board of Education will do that for them. One of the big issues facing Sunderland residents is how to dispose of more than $1.4 million in federal funds known as impact aid. That's federal money given to school districts who lose what might have been developable and therefore taxable property for federal purposes. In this case, preservation of the natural wilderness in the Green Mountain National Forest. The overwhelming majority of the town lies inside the National Forest. During the meeting, interim school superintendent Jackie Wilson explained the situation.
That money has been sitting in an account, and that money is solely for the purpose of reducing your tax burden for taxpayers. That's what it's to be used for. So that issue, of course, that's a really hefty reserve fund to have in place. All of our schools do have reserve funds, and some, the Mountain Town Red, they have close to probably close to $500,000 in tax reserve funds by the end of this year. So everybody's got a chunk of something. They may have building and grounds reserve funds. Every school has a building and grounds reserve fund. Some have technology funds. So part of this Act 46, if we merge, all of those reserves become one. They all go to the new, whatever that new merged district is. So it's one of the questions that this committee has been wrestling with, was how do we manage that? How do we take care of that? So this school board, too, has been very, very active in this question because it's a hot topic question.
The merger committee is proposing spending about $600,000 of the existing fund for a one-time tax break for town residents and placing the rest of the fund for building and grounds maintenance for the school. After that, all future impact aid money must be shared with the newly formed and consolidated district. Questions about school choice and representation on a new 13-member school board were also hot topics. The committee is proposing a 13-member board with each of the 9 towns having 1 seat. The other 4 would be filled by at-large voting for the remaining 4. But candidates for the 4 at-large seats could only come from the 4 largest towns, Manchester, Dorset, Danby, and Londonderry, to proportionally reflect those larger populations. On the controversial question of school choice, the proposed plan, which is yet to be approved by both the State Board of Education and local voters before it goes into effect, calls for Sunderland's 7th and 8th graders to attend one of the 3 middle schools in the new district, in Manchester, Dorset, or the Floodbrook School in Londonderry. If the State Board and the voters do okay the final proposal the committee submits, the new consolidated school district would come into existence on July 1, 2017. The committee hopes to have its proposal finalized by December. For the GNet News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.